Hi, besties. You've found your community bestie to share thoughts and opinions, recap the shows we love.
Having too much fun.
Bravo should be fun. And have piping hot gossip sessions about the celebrities and Bravo lebs we love, hate, and love to hate.
He went on a podcast claiming he had a threesome with two women from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Immediately, I was like, I wonder if it's Brandy and Carlton.
I'm Caitlin Marshall, your pop culture and Bravo bestie.
Allegedly allegations.
And if you enjoy fun conversation between friends, listening to your bestie rant about shows we can't get enough of, plus enjoy a little bit of, well, ridiculousness.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. There's a spider that is coming down. Hold on.
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God. Has anybody seen my ring?
Oh my God.
I don't want to ruin the party or anything.
Have you seen my ring? Oh my God. Can you look on the floor for my ring? God, someone's gonna kill me.
Don't mess with me because I will come.
What? Oh.
Feel free to leave that in for whatever entertainment purposes.
You're in the right place. So thanks for joining me on Besties by Bravo. Hi, besties. Thank you for joining me today. It is Thursday, May 22nd, and we are covering what is the Summer House Season 9 finale. I feel that even though we picked up cameras, because we do that every time someone breaks up on Bravo, ever since Scandival, that we were missing some things we saw in the previews for what was supposed to be coming in that conversation between Paige, Lindsay, and Amanda. We'll get to that, though. I hope you have a beautiful Memorial Day weekend coming up. And yeah, you know, I'm having one of those days, I'm not going to lie to you, where aside from mild panic attacks, I'm questioning my entire existence. Not that dire, but you know, it's been a hard day for me over here. So I'm just happy to be here with you all, and I appreciate you being here. Okay, friends, let's get on into Summer House. We pick back up at the Freedom Dinner, which I love that Lindsay even knows this was incredibly unhinged, with Lexi telling Sierra that she doesn't trust her, which Sierra asks Lexi if she thinks she's been mean to her. And Lexi tells her, obviously, you and I are very different. I'm like very hot. You can sometimes be like, let me suss it out. And I love that. Girl, be real. You were about to tell Sierra that she's cold and you're not. And also, you're both very hot, at least physically, okay? Lexi says that with the things she's heard all summer, that it sounds as though she and Jesse take it too far, so she thinks that's why she hasn't been able to bond with Sierra all summer. Jesse asks the girls if they think Lexi wasn't able to bond with them all summer because of him. Now, listen here. I am a girl's girl, okay? Through and through, and I support the girlies, but this is so unfair to put her lack of connection with the other women on Jesse. There, I said it. He may have been manipulative with Lexi, and he may have been trying to monopolize her time, but there were nights the guys went out without the girls, and there were opportunities to hang out with the girls instead of him. Like, it's totally normal to be so enamored with someone that you just want to spend all your time with them, but I'm sorry, Lexi, girl, it is not all on Jesse, period. Gabby supports what Lexi is saying, though, and Paige tells Jesse that she doesn't think he actively isolated Lexi. Jesse is saying that Lexi is making it out to be intentional on his part and like he's vindictive. And Gabby tells him to stop worrying about his own perception for a second. Sierra says she gets that Lexi and Jesse have been fully enamored with one another. Hey, look, it's my exact words. And then she says, did you make yourself fully available to us also all summer? And Lexi admits no. So Sierra points out that it's what was different between Jesse and Lexi's situationship. We're calling it that. I refuse to call these full-blown relationships, okay?
And you compare it to Sierra and West's situationship. West made himself available to everyone else outside of what he and Sierra had going on. And Lexi is wise to say that this is an accurate assessment of the situation and admits that no, she wasn't, telling him to leave her alone so she can try and connect with the girls. She was saying that she connected with Jesse immediately and really liked him, adding, hence why I fought for our relationship for the last month after being clowned. Gabby is such a girl's girl. She's like, preach, honey. And oh, look at that. West is about to have an opinion that isn't solely behind closed doors or just in a confessional. West asks Lexi what changed from when she dumped him 2 weeks ago. And this is West's way of being shady boots here, because West is the type of guy that just wants to be liked and loved and worshiped by everyone. So these types of men are always sneaky AF when they're being shady. Lexi says she's breaking up with Jesse because she can't trust him. Then says, when my friends are asking me, oh, who are you dating? What's going on in your life? And I'm literally embarrassed to say that I'm dating you because you've treated me like garbage for half of our relationship. Jesse says he hasn't treated her like crap, but I think she used a poor choice of words here, because I don't know that I'd straight up say he treated her horrifically. He just talked a lot of crap, love bombed, acted like she was the crazy one, pretended he was dragging his feet into monogamy when really he kind of was, but also wanted to get laid. So he went ahead and went along with it. And then got his Fred Flintstone hoovered and lied by omission from it. Yeah, okay. So he did kind of treat her badly. It was just behind her back. So he thinks he didn't treat her terribly because he was sweetness and light to her face. So yeah, he did treat her like garbage behind her back. She tells him she thinks he lies by omission and also adds, or you fully lie. I think you're sneaky. I think you're only happy when it's only me and you, but you don't want to meet my friends because you only want me to yourself because you like freaking suffocate me. Ooh. She even got her hands like, you suffocate me. Lindsay just takes like this big swallow, like, ooh. And I feel like Lindsay is the equivalent of a soccer mom watching her baby plowing through opponents toward the goal, but it's reality TV. So she's like a drama mama. Oh, look at that. It rhymed. Anyway, here comes Wesley is it Wesley or Westlin? I think it's Westlin, with a voice saying he wants to hang out with you too much, but also treats you like crap. What? Oh my God. Gabby just goes, shut up, West. Gabby isn't afraid of nobody, honey. Right or wrong, I just love seeing girlies supporting other girlies. That's all it is. West is saying that Lexi's statement contradicts itself while Gabby is going, mm-hmm. But Paige looks at West and tells him to speak up, as Sierra tells him, yeah, speak up for once. These girls are telling him, earn your paycheck, West, or GTFOH, Red. You can see his straight sportsman mind is calculating the plane if it's worth going for the extra point or not, which he decides it is. See, I can occasionally speak straight man language. He tells Lexi, in this house, Jesse's relationships with everyone besides you and Emerald have a year's worth of ground. So he's going to naturally, and Lexi interrupts him by being like, oh, amazing. A whole year? Like, wow, it was the whole 12 months. So long. And West, I fear you were a sneaky little assassin with this next little one. Okay. Not a full-blown like murder assassin, but definitely like a hard boop assassin. You snuck in and booped her with this one. West goes, that's a lot longer than a few weeks. And Gabby's like, oh, West. Oh, West. But when you look at Sierra and Paige, Sierra is just giving hate him. I'm sorry. Yes, Sierra is the one giving hate him. A little bit still, but man has a point. While Paige's face is giving, you better earn your paycheck while defending your little boyfriend next to you and entertain me at the same time. West asks Lexi to let him finish what he was going to say, and Gabby just goes, this girl is able to say everything without saying any actual words. She can just make sounds, and that's enough for everyone to get it. But West is getting frustrated clearly because he looks at Gabby and tells her, I'm not going to do effing ad libs with you just one effing second. Paige's face is going, ooh, okay, West's balls dropped today. Look at that. But West stepped in it when he tried it with Gabby, because whether she's actually right or wrong, it makes zero difference because she's also going to make sure she's heard. She'll eat that man alive. So Gabby goes, oh, just because he knows all of these girls more than he gets to say more stuff and gets to run his mouth, that argument makes sense to you? Can we also remember that Gabby has been pretty excluded from the bedbug clique and she's got a better friendship with Lindsay, but I mean, yeah, she's just not exactly besties with the bedbugs. Jesse is saying that he's not trying to make Lexi look bad at the same time that West is saying it's normal to voice concerns to friends when you're dating someone. And this is where I get frustrated with West. This is the type of stuff he will say in confessional or when he's not with everyone. He says in his confessional, he won't, and again, he won't say it to Gabby's face. Zero issue behind her back, though. And he's also not totally wrong with what he says. But what he says is, I think at least every person at this table has had one of their relationships scrutinized by people at this table, except for Gabby. Like, I don't think you can go 3 years and talk crap on other people's relationships and not have any of yours to be talked crap on. So it's a little annoying to be told to shut the F up when she's never had to deal with it. And okay, I hear you. But also, she hasn't seemed to have like an actual romantic relationship since she's been in the house. And when she did enter the house, it was fairly immediate that the talk of her ex cheating on her with Danielle, and it was unbeknownst to Danielle at the time that he was in a relationship, was addressed. But I mean, yeah, West is correct that she hasn't had her own relationship scrutinized in the house. But again, if she doesn't have a romantic relationship at this time, then there's nothing to be scrutinized. But I do hear him. Ugh, I'm agreeing with West. What has happened to me? Lexi says that Gabby is right and that she'd like for Jesse to stop stirring the pot, especially on the last weekend. Okay, Lexi, come on, girl. I have been on your side this whole time. But baby, you chose to break up with him on the last weekend. So it's going to have a ripple effect in the house. Like, don't play it like that, babe. I fully disagree with what he was saying upstairs to everyone after you dumped him, but he wouldn't have been saying all of that, at least not in the same way with every single other person in the house, but he wouldn't have been up there in the same way talking about you if you hadn't chosen to break up with him immediately upon entering the house, in the house. I'm sorry, this frustrated me beyond words because now I have to defend Jesse Solomon. Lexi, what have you done? Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze. Let me pause. Okay, I'm back. These goddamn allergies. They're trying to kill me. These allergies. They're trying to murder me. Okay, I'm back. Jesus Christ. It's not one thing, it's another. Anywho. I mean, okay. Yeah, again, you shouldn't have dumped him in the house the second you walked in, girl. I mean, it's okay that you wanted to go ahead and do that, but you do realize you could have done it during the week if this is about not wanting to stir shit up on the last weekend. You absolutely should have done it for the cameras, but it didn't have to be in the house. Okay. So now it feels like you're just trying to play victim here, Lexi, and that's frustrating to me. But then Lexi frustrates me further by adding, let us try to actually make friendships. Finally, girl, you are leaning into this victimhood of friendships with the girls too much because I'm getting annoyed. You're placing all the blame on Jesse, and now I'm getting annoyed with myself for defending Jesse Solomon. What the hell is going on? Why are you doing this to me? Lexi, stop it. They're all tired of talking about this stupid freaking relationship, so it sort of concludes. And Kyle hugs Lexi, telling her he didn't mean to make it a whole thing. Well, Dad, you did, but it's okay. West mouths at Lexi like, you good? And she says, no, I hate you. You need to shut the F up. You come at her, pointing at Gabby, for talking. You talk more than her, so you shut the F up. Okay, that's not even remotely true, Lexi. He may do it off camera, but for us, he doesn't. So, and Lexi, damn it, now I'm defending West. What is going on? Paige and I are on the same page here, though, because she tells West, no, you don't have to shut the F up. You can say whatever you want. And Gabby chimes in, no, he can't. Sierra informs everyone that West only talks that much one-on-one, not in these group settings, but that in the context of this situation alone, he was doing a good job. Yeah, I'll give him a compliment. And everyone's just like, whoa. West is just looking like, is this a simulation or is this real? Sierra's complimenting me. Oh my God. Are we good? Are we good? Please love me. Please, I mean, not romantically, but please like me. Gabby ends up going, I'm not going to give credit for mediocrity, but sure. Ooh, I feel like, unfortunately, these girls, as in Gabby versus at least Paige and Sierra, they're gonna be against each other at the reunion. And I don't want the girls to be so divided. I like it when they're on the same team. This is when Paige says, and don't forget, Carl's free too. Sierra says they should write his social media post for him now. He's like, no, I'm good. And Sierra starts 4 score 1 year ago, talking about Lindsay's post. That was the whole timeline. And she even cracks up at it. And she knows how freaking nuts all of this was. She even kind of admitted to it being unhinged and kooky on Watch What Happens. In confessional, Carl says he feels like they can finally put all of this behind them, but he's also fully aware that he and Lindsay will never go back to having the friendship they previously had. Everyone separates, goes upstairs to their respective rooms, while with Wes telling Kyle and Jesse that his heart is running 1,000 miles a minute because he's never spoken up at a group confrontation before. Wes, you barely did anything. Okay, that's the most you've ever done on this show. But the guys are going out for boys' night, and Jesse and Paige chat on the sofa with him asking her how bad that whole thing was at dinner. And Paige just tells him, look, I am always for the girls. However, she doesn't view that what he's done was all that much of a screw up or even all that bad because he didn't sleep with another girl or cheat on her fully. Jesse tells Paige, yeah, sorry. I'm trying not to sneeze again. Why is my life like this? Jesse tells Paige again, yeah, and you know that I don't have malicious intent. Like, sorry, I was obsessed with you. Like, sorry, I told you I was in love with you before you even unpacked your suitcase. Sorry, I wanted you to have my babies and have a bee farm with you in my backyard from my pillow empire money. Oh, wait, that's what's happening to you, Paige. Sorry. But Paige tells him that she just thinks that he and Lexi went too hard, too strong, and too fast. Agreed. He tells her that that's never happened to him before, where he jumped into what he clearly thought was the 8-foot end of the pool, but really it was the 20-foot and into the abyss because that boy was out of his depth. He says he learned his lesson, though. And this, my friends, is how a villain F-boy's origin story begins, because he will be using this situation as an excuse to never commit to another woman again. And if he's using something that happened in a relationship he had when he was like, 17 years old, how long do you think this is going to give him the excuse not to commit? Although, friends, I have heard that he does have a girlfriend, but also it does appear that allegedly, if he does have this girlfriend, she's not too chill either, as in she, didn't love Bravo fans wanting to come up and take pictures with him and hype him up. And it seems that she might experience some jealousy. So allegedly, but also, yeah, he sure has a type now, doesn't he? Sierra comes into the living room now and goes to Jesse and she says, so you don't like me? Like, that's all I got from that conversation. Because remember last episode, Lexi said Jesse was telling her that he was disliking Sierra at the moment. And Jesse claims that this is not what he said and that he told Lexi he was super glad that he and Sierra were friends again. So Sierra sits down and asks, are you okay? And both Paige and Sierra say that they think this is the right thing for Jesse and Lexi to be done. And then Jesse says, okay, I'll keep it chill. I won't invite any girls here and I won't flirt with you. And when she tells him to shut up, he tries to come on to her and hug her. And she's giggly, telling him it's him doing all this flirtation, not her. And that's when Amanda has to lean down and tell them, guys, the body is not even cold yet. Stop. Carl, Jesse, Kyle, Emerald, and West. So, okay, all the boys go out, and Lexi moves into Gabby's room because Jesse had slept in her bed all summer, and she wants that bad juju away from her. In what will now be Lexi and Gabby's room for the weekend, Lexi says it's disappointing that it feels as though her summer has been basically for Jesse to screw her over at the end of it. Was it him, Lexi, or was it mutual? I think y'all both participated in screwing up your summers, and we are exhausted of you guys. I'm sorry. I have to tell the truth. Now all the girls are going to bed, and Sierra is asking Paige, like what physical features in a dude make her stop and drool over a man? I legit was so afraid that her answer was going to be like 6 foot, blonde, short hair, doesn't know how to cook or sew. But instead for Paige, it's if he's over 6'3", longish hair, in a suit. And a suit, honey, yes. I love my man's booty when he is in slacks. Like, do not get me started. Paige asks Sierra how many times she's been in love, and Sierra has only told one guy ever that she loved him, while Paige has told all of her boyfriends she loved them, but she says looking back, maybe she wasn't in love. She just loved her life at that time, and this man happened to be there. No foreshadowing or anything. In confessional, Paige says the Giggly Squad tour starts in 10 days from this particular day, and admits she's not as excited as she thought she would be, which makes her a little upset with herself for it. She also says she's constantly stressing over whether Craig is going to be mad about this tour and that it's really just too much for her right now. And then the boys come stumbling in at almost 2:00 in the morning. Kyle does not, guys, he does not have a maraca. He has an Easter egg. That is a maraca. He does try to sneak into his and Amanda's room while she's sleeping with his fedora cowboy hat combo on. And it's so wild to me that he would even be attempting to be so very quiet when we know he's going to intentionally wake Amanda up to tell her good night for no good reason. And then West and Jesse go eat a big tray of sandwiches in bed. Okay. The next morning, the boys are all hungover, with Jesse thinking he's still drunk, and Paige lets out this scream yawn. And gosh, don't you love doing those, friends? It's almost like you got to exorcise the demon from the night before. Just the, gosh, it feels good sometimes. Jesse is telling Amanda he's sad. He just wants some sad boy loves. He tells Amanda also that he has to hang out with the girl that dumped him yesterday all day today. In confessional, Jesse says, I can't believe this is how it's going to end. Lexi thinks I'd rather have loved and lost than not loved at all. And now I think that's dumb as shit. I would have rather not loved at all. I would just rather be like, hey, friend, you look sexy today. Go hit on girls at the club because this effing sucks. Told you, guys, he will be using this situation as an excuse to never commit again. Everyone is making their way down to the kitchen, and Jesse is singing, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to wake up in the morning, my sweet fellow. Gabby tells him it's a bit much right now. And Jesse goes, okay, that's what my mom would sing to me every day of my life. Oh my God. Okay, but Gabby's like, oh, that's so sweet. Now, apparently, they have hired scare actors for their scary party theme. And we get Amanda coming into Paige and Sierra's room giving us the Kylie Jenner, rise and shine. Lindsay and Gabby go up to check on Lexi, who is crying in the bathroom. And these girls are so sweet, supportive, and kind to her. Lexi is telling them she's overwhelmed, and they have her sit on the bed to chat. She says, again, she's overwhelmed and sad because it's not a normal situation that you live with someone you dated within 3 seconds. If anyone on this planet understands how she feels right now and how absolutely not normal this situation is, it's Lindsay effing Hubbard. Lindsay Dale Hubbard knows better than anyone. But Lexi says it's harder than she thought it'd be to navigate. And in confessional, she says that Jesse is the person in the house she feels the closest to, and that's even in the friendship department. So he'd be the person she would instinctually run to in a moment like this. So she feels really lonely and had been telling Jesse before this that she was feeling lonely as well. Lexi, girl, you have 2 incredible women sitting there supporting you, one of which has had your back to the fullest and let you move your shit into her room just because you didn't want to sleep in the same bed that your now kind of ex had spent time in, even though it's been cleaned, you got new sheets. Girl, God, I have been on your side through and through, but this ain't it. Stop. I don't feel sorry for you. I did until now. You now, I'm sorry. Let's just go ahead and call this spade a spade. Lexi, darling, you, oh, and I just forgot my thought. Yes. Okay. You're now mad that you don't have the entire house of girls on your side the way they were that weekend that it was the bed party and you went running right back to Jesse. These girls are in their 30s. They know fool me once, fool me twice. Okay. That's all you're upset about. You don't feel like you have the entire house of females backing you up and going against Jesse because guess what? You didn't put in the effort. Why would they do that? They have known him longer. They know him as a person better than they know you. They've spent actual time around him. You didn't even try to spend time with them. But Lindsay tells her to try and just like not look in Jesse's direction at all. Danielle shows up and calls the girls out for still being in PJs in the afternoon. Then she looks outside and says, Jesse's actually doing something? I mean, okay, wow, way to come in with the negativity, Danielle. Jesus. She asks Lexi how she and Jesse are, and Lexi tells her she broke up with him, and Danielle just goes, again? Okay, she is coming in real hot, but also fair reaction at this point. Paige comes in and is wearing a cute little polka dot skirt, which now Danielle immediately goes, is it a bathing suit or Danielle, could you let people live and breathe? I swear to God. So then Sierra trips over a cord, hauling ass to get over to this blanket that Paige has acquired over on the sofa. Now, we do see that the girls will be doing DIY gravestones, tombstones, what have you, to write on. And they joke about writing RIP to the boys. And then, for fuck's sake, Danielle, we're at a tally of at least 5 already. And you have been on my screen for less than 2 minutes. She looks at Lindsay and goes, maybe write RIP to the death of your vagina. Okay, you are such a freaking hater. Danielle, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't you just be kind to people and let people feel good about something they're excited about? Lindsay is well aware that her vagina is going to be fucked up for at least a few weeks. Okay, that's part of it. She knew what she was getting into. God, sorry, that just pisses me off. That's so mean. It's like, it's like that friend that you're like, oh, we're talking about getting pregnant. Oh, really? Do you have enough money for that? You know you're never going to sleep again. Instead of being like, "Oh my gosh, that's exciting." When it's, like their first kid or something. Or it's like, I don't know, that friend that you go, "I think I'm going to get a new car. I'm really excited I'm getting the Bronco." Oh, that's a gas guzzler, right? I mean, if you have the money, go for it, but gosh, I mean, I think the ones that are white or gray, those are ugly, but as long as you just like get a black one, but I mean, it's your car. Bitch. I'm sorry, but really? Now we've got Dina, the makeup artist, showing up as Lexi has just finished writing RIP to the lies, Jesse's lies on the tombstone, and she does try to hide it from Jesse, who comes walking in. Lindsay is dressed as Handmaid's Tale, which I don't know if y'all are watching the new season. I am. Oh my God. Don't sneeze again. Y'all, if you're watching on YouTube and you see me making a weird face, it's because I am fighting for my life. One of those freaking days, y'all. Jesse, I believe he's supposed to be Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, and Sierra is 6'5", blue eyes in finance, and it's brilliant. She has named herself Brantley and is walking around in platform dress shoes with her fly undone, mansplaining the stock market and investments and, I don't know, crypto to people, and I love it. And what I love about Sierra is she is so freaking gorgeous. And you know what? I think she knows it plenty because I love that she does not give one F and will commit to the ugly as hell costume just for the statement and the fun of it. And I love it. Now we've got Paige who won't do that. Love you, Paige, but yeah, you could go for it, babes. Paige is dressed as the Wicked Witch, and Jesse notices the tombstone Lexi made, and he is not happy about that. Disparaging my character. Now an alien gargoyle thing comes up to Paige and starts stroking her arm, and she's like, honestly, it's been a while, so just to feel anything. Why is she so funny? God damn it. Someday I'll learn. Now this one scare actor is freaking everyone out completely by sneaking up on them and gets Carl and Sierra both, with Sierra yelling that she's going to call her daddy. Oh, I didn't mean to name drop a podcast, but there you go. Jesse goes up to a group of girls. He is so very much on the prowl. Now Paige and Sierra put West in one of the coffins and close the lid, which makes him completely lose it. And honestly, same, because I'm claustrophobic, and that is an actual, like, laying inside of a coffin is an actual nightmare for me personally. So now Lindsay, Kyle, and Danielle sit and chat about how they've been through a lot and experienced so much over the years together, basically filming this show. And Kyle says that personally he could keep doing this whole partying thing. And Danielle says regarding Lindsay, it feels like an end. But Lindsay says it doesn't feel like an ending for her. And this is, again, Danielle sucking the joy out of things. Let people be happy. You have never allowed Lindsay to enjoy one thing she's excited about. Were you right about her and Carl? Sure. But that wasn't for you to figure out for her. It's very annoying. Anyway, they both point out that at a certain point, it has to be acknowledged that a chapter is ending for Lindsay. And Danielle pushes further, saying to Lindsay, you are delulu if you don't think that this is an ending. In confessional, Lindsay does admit that she's in the process of going through kind of an identity crisis because this is a huge transitional year for her becoming a mother. And she's been on this show for 9 years. That is 9 years of that job. Realistically, she can't come back to living in a party share house and doesn't even know how she's going to make her money because because this is what her career has become. And we have to admit, this is a scary reality for reality TV stars if they don't find ways to launch outside business ventures that are extremely successful. Let's just go ahead and be very real about that. Danielle at least finally says, well, it's a beginning for Lindsay, and that everyone's next chapter is looking different, which is okay. Lindsay, yours is going to be with a completely effed up inside out vagina and this little blob of a baby that you have to keep alive forever now. But I mean, that just sounds miserable is all. It's not a big deal. It just looks different. I did not like how Danielle talked to anyone when she showed up at all. It turns out Jesse is flirting with a group of sisters. And I gotta admit, he does look handsome at this party. I'm all for the natural hair look, but God. Okay, fine. His slicked back hair and slicked down hair, it actually really works on him and he looks handsome fine. Paige and Amanda notice that he's getting right back into it with the four blondes and note that Lexi is absolutely watching this entire interaction. As one of the girls in the group is telling him that if he has 2 extra seats in his car for a ride back to the city tomorrow, she'd totally take it. And when he asks, like, okay, so you need a ride? He then says, I would literally do anything for you, right? As Lexi is walking by and, oh boy, because she just lets out a, I will kill you type of sound. He tells these girls they can ride home together tomorrow, then go to his apartment and chill and bring some of them inside for drinks where Lexi also is and says to her, hey, good to see you guys. And Lexi's like, I'm good. Gabby steps outside asking Lexi if she's good because she and Jesse are clearly going to have a talk. God damn. So now we are tasked with more Jesse and Lexi arguing footage. It's too much. He tells her he doesn't know how to not have a negative conversation with her and that they started out the summer strong and we could end that way. But she tells him that she just decided she doesn't plan on having a friendship with him anytime soon. He says that it feels that way and that she says she feels like there's been a lot of deception and that it isn't the type of friendship she's looking for right now. He tells her that the way they broke up was so peaceful, so amicable. Would have loved to continue that energy. She claims she did continue it, but that changed when he got the whole house involved. Then you should not have broken up with him in the house, and you got Lindsay and Gabby involved as well. And Paige and Sierra and Amanda. What are you talking about, babe? God. He denies that he did and is just like, yeah, they were coming up to check on me, which they were. God, I'm defending Jesse. Jesus Christ, Lexi. He says he apologized for slipping up and saying one little thing to Sierra. But she says he's not telling the whole story again and reminds him that she told him that it would have been nice if he had asked her to go to the US Open instead when she had no plans that Monday. And she tells him it was disheartening and she doesn't want to have to keep teaching him. I mean, he's clearly confused by the fact that it was that one little thing that also turned this into what it has turned into. She feels that he's trying to pit her and the other girls against each other and claims to be a girl's girl and says that that's why she's felt so lonely all summer. He says she can't blame her lack of connection with the other girls entirely on him. Again, I 100% agree with you here, Jesse, but also, you sure didn't help now, did you? Now he says he wanted to be friends and amicable, but that it's clear to him it doesn't feel as though that's possible. He says it's the way she's coming after his character, with her telling him that he has been coming after hers all summer, talking about her and saying she's so jealous. And y'all, I can't decide how I feel about him saying this, but I know I don't hate it because I do love a breaking of the fourth wall. He then goes, "We're on a fucking reality show. And I'm talking to my friends about my relationship. It's a concern I asked my friends for their advice. And you take that as if I'm talking about you, as though you're jealous and insecure. And I'm not." That's not true, but okay. Then he tells her, "You'll watch the show back and you'll see how much I cared about you," with her saying that he'll do the same and see that she never talked bad about him. Okay, so that went well. But it also lends to the idea of what Lexi has been saying this whole time about Jesse wanting to have that same type of West edit that West got last year and the attention West got last year. And he is getting it. And he's very well aware he's on a reality show. So, not that I expect them not to be, but do you get my point? Now we're partying as Jesse is flirting with anything with blonde hair and a gaggle of girls trailing behind him. And he dances around all showy in front of Lexi about it, which was kind of a dick move. But Sierra and Amanda go in to change. And that's when they see Jesse in the kitchen with his gaggle of girlies. And Sierra is a girl's girl, kind of. But she grabs a broom and pretends to be sweeping some of the mess out of our house, which was also her trying to sweep the girls out. She says this is for Lexi, but I do also feel like there's a slight tinge of it being for herself. And again, I don't know that I believe in any real world that she actually wants to be with Jesse in that way. I think she just likes the attention from him and the flirtations. In confessional, she does say, no matter how weird Jesse and Lexi are, it's too much too soon. And she just knows it doesn't feel good to see something like that. And she doesn't want Lexi to see it. Amanda tells Jesse that if she saw that on the outside, him with all these girls, and she were Lexi, she'd be pissed too. Imrul is making out with a girl as West smooches Jesse. And everyone is leaving, but we see Lexi notice Jesse chit-chatting it up with another new girl. Amanda, Paige, and Sierra go sit and chat with Amanda laying in the coffin, completely freaking them out with her makeup, the contacts, and just like raising up all creepily in the coffin. And Paige tells them that she would not be able to survive the house without them. And then Amanda sits up and says, "Kyle told me he didn't want me to be depressed in the fall and winter, but I feel like I'm depressed when I'm without you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do without you guys." They realize that they won't be able to get together until like November. And at first I thought it was because of BravoCon, but I assume it's because that's when Paige is taking a break from touring, because she obviously would have known that they weren't doing BravoCon last year. So I don't know. They agree they'll try to do a weekly FaceTime and make an effort here. But then Paige adds, "And just because we have random guy problems, I don't give an F about them." The party is concluded, and in confessional, Lindsay says this is the first summer she wasn't saying, "Thank God the summer is over and I can go back to my real life." Because she actually has had such a great summer, feeling as though she was in this little bubble of happiness before she has the baby. Speaking of the baby, we fast forward 3 months later on December 5th, where Lindsay is going to the hospital, very, very preggers. And of course, Turner doesn't look like he's there. So it makes it look like she was very alone doing all of this, which we know that she wasn't. And Lindsay has Gemma, and she's just so in love, realizing how very real it is when parents say they have the most gorgeous, precious, perfect little creature that they have grown. And just remembering seeing little man for the first time, though. Oh my gosh, y'all. Although, do you know what I thought? Okay, and I had a very quick labor, very, very, very quick. And he was a big baby. He was big. And when I first saw him, because poor little guy had his little nose smashed and his poor little ears were all just puffed up, I remember thinking immediately, of course, I was on that, fentanyl epidural, which was wonderful. I was a little out of it and I thought, "Well, whose nose is that?" But I mean, I know he's a gorgeous child. He is signed with a modeling agency. He's so gorgeous. So I am biased though. I am. But that's all we hear is how beautiful he is. So now we go to December 30th, where it is the breaking news that Paige and Craig have broken up. God bless you, Lindsay. You weren't even a month postpartum when they picked these cameras up. I would have been like, get the hell out of my home. Oh, and Paige gets to go take a peek of Gemma. And of course, Paige then wants to know if Lindsay pooped on the table, but she has no idea. I somehow did not, in case you all were wondering. But they pour champagne and they're going to have champagne and caviar. Lindsay cheers to Paige being single and points out, yes, they do have a lot to talk about. Then Amanda shows up and goes to peek at Gemma, who's napping. And Amanda is so emotional and crying because Gemma's just this precious little cutie. They start to try to have some sort of small talk, and Lindsay describes her state of being with a newborn as Groundhog Day, which, yes, that is very real for sure. She gushes about Turner and how he's been amazing in this. But she does say that there's one conflict that they have, which is that he's so very private and she obviously is so very public and didn't quite get he didn't get quite how very public being with someone on TV would be, making it difficult for her to find that line of the boundary for him on what's okay and what's not okay for him. She says that if she didn't get pregnant, she doesn't know if they would have stayed together because she wouldn't have compromised on the whole privacy thing like this and hiding him essentially, which I understand. She's very public. Okay. Lindsay has to pump, and she is very right that, pumping hurts like a business. Especially if you're not super full. And even then it kind of hurts. It's only when you have to get it at the very right time. And just remembering that my nipples, fuck. Did I ever tell y'all this? I'm sorry, I'm having so many flashbacks and I can't stop grabbing my boobies. Did I ever tell y'all when I first had McCoy, my dumbass didn't know anything about how you'd get them to start breastfeeding? Oh, that first night. Oh, guys. I let him nurse on each side for like 30 or 45 minutes. My nipples turned black. They turned black. They hurt so fucking bad. And you know what? If you have not had a child yet and you're planning on it or you're pregnant, anything, go ahead and meet with the lactation consultant, because if I had not, I don't know what I would have done. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, I'm fine. Paige says she feels like this whole thing with breaking up with Craig was the right decision, and that what cemented it for her was her dad calling her a few days afterward and telling her that he felt as though she finally has her personality back after being with Craig, and that now she's no longer with him. she essentially got her light back. And Amanda confirms that she felt that Paige was completely different this summer and she didn't really want to bring it up to her and wanted to let Paige come to her on her own with maybe what was going on and why she was not her usual self, which has Paige bringing up the panic attack she had while on tour. And she was basically wondering, like, was I being dramatic? What was going on? Because I'm a female. Like, oh my God, was I just being dramatic? Am I overdoing it? Whatever. But she does get distracted by Lindsay's nipples and she wants to try a sip of Lindsay's breast milk. I never tried my own breast milk. I don't know why. I didn't. But they want to try theirs. Amanda and Paige want to try it on the rocks, not warm. When Paige tries it, she says, "Oh my God, it's so good." And Lindsay goes ahead and she's like, "Should I try it?" They're like, "You haven't even tried your own breast milk?" She's like, "No." But she's like, "Oh my God, that's some good stuff." I don't know what it, like I said, what it tastes like. But from what I understand, it's like slightly sweeter, more watery milk. Oh my God, this is taking just such a weird turn. And I didn't mean for it to. I think I'm just like having all the memories come back to me. And now I'm like, I want and don't want another baby right now. I do. I do. I don't. I do. Oh my God. What do I want? Paige tells them that in November, when she was there, when he was there, I'm sorry, when Craig was there for Thanksgiving, he asked her if she ever fantasized about hosting holidays with their own kids. And that while she verbally said yes, she realized she didn't fantasize about that and that she felt maybe that wasn't fair to him. I don't I don't know. I hadn't really thought about hosting holidays with my own adult children. It scares me to even think of my child as an adult. Don't make me. She says he deserves to have the love of his life and that she does as well. And at that point, she couldn't really pretend anymore and couldn't pretend that she wasn't having these feelings that she felt she shouldn't be having if they were getting engaged, and really that they shouldn't be having the issues they were having if they were getting engaged. But he wanted to have an in-person conversation with her in December when he came to New York City. And she adds that during this conversation, he said, "I really wish you didn't do this before you saw the ring," which has Lindsay and Amanda both going, "What?" But Paige says, "Right when he said that to me, in my head, I was like, this is why we're breaking up, because I don't know if you're lying right now." Ooh, because he also claimed that he had had that ring for over a year. Oh, wow. Okay. Lindsay says she wants to see this ring, but Paige tells her the ring doesn't exist. We'll never see it. Whoa, hot damn. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm feel like there's so much we don't know, but okay. She then says that 2 weeks after this breakup, no one knew. And she put it on the podcast and tried to be very respectful of him because she didn't want people coming after him, just wondering, what did he do? What did he do to cause this breakup? But that when the cheating rumors came out, since she was getting annihilated online, she asked Craig to say something in her defense, and he told her, "I don't feel comfortable saying anything at this time." Y'all, if you had seen the way I got annihilated for defending her in any way, y'all heard me talk about that. It was wild. Wild. People were so angry at her. I still don't get it. But, y'all, I'm really annoyed because the previews that we had seen of this scene showed Paige saying so many more things about how he was acting single on vacation, about how he was allegedly texting, quote unquote, some other bitch. Never saw any of that. What's going on? And did y'all also notice that they started having the after show episodes for the season and they stopped after 3? Why? It's so bizarre. I don't understand. It's like they just completely abandoned it. But anywho, she then says, "Here's the thing. As a girlfriend, I defended the F out of you in public. I have fought people for you. I have lied through my effing teeth for you." Whoa. It's confirmed that he and Paige have not spoken since she asked him to say that she didn't cheat on him. And that when he said no, she was like, "And now you're dead to me." Apparently, even Kyle texted Craig after the breakup and Craig didn't respond, which Paige seems to have had no idea Kyle texted him and is like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? That's so rude." The conclusion is for these girls that their lives in their 30s aren't what they imagined they would be, but they're not mad about it. It's just different. And I think that's a great perspective. You know, we do have the reunion next week. I don't know. It's always hard because I will love Paige all season. And then usually at the reunion, she tends to come in a little too hot for my liking. And it's not, I don't know why. I just end up being kind of feeling like, why are you coming in so hard like this? But we'll see. I have a feeling a lot's going to come down on Lexi for everything she has said or not said, about Sierra, all of that. So it's going to be interesting, friends. Okay, besties, thank you again for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure and like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all the things. It's at Besties by Caitlin, Caitlin. And if you're listening on audio, please do your girl a solid. Leave a 5-star review with a comment about what you do like about this show. It is truly, I can't express any more than I have how much it actually supports the show. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, have a fantastic long weekend. Go sit in the sun with sunscreen on and enjoy yourself and do all the things you want to do. All right, besties, I will see you next week. Thanks again for listening. Bye.